been a long weekend. People are holidaying, going to the snow, going overseas for Royal Ascot, Wimbledon. What are your people doing in flood-ravaged Lismore?
Okay, a lot of people were very cold this weekend, and some people have moved back into their homes. There's no real structure. They still need to be cleaned. They don't have the walls, etc. They're cold. They're trying to make themselves warm. Some of them have lined their walls a little bit with cardboard. They've got lots of clothes on, you know, and I've read it's the coldest winter since 1930. So I said to the Premier last week, Premier, we need warmth for winter. Can you get your department to look at it? Now, Resilience should be looking at that. They're visiting homes, so, you know, it'd be nice if they turned up with a gas heater or something. And they haven't. And the Premier
just on that Resilience, the Mayor said, at the height of we've spoken to the Mayor, at the height of a natural disaster, it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job, and that's where Resilience really struggled. They had a concept of, well, it's 5 o'clock, I'm going to go home. I mean,
that's bizarre.
Yeah. You told the inquiry that this mob were unprepared for a disaster.
Totally unprepared. Look, if you know anything about disasters, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist, but even the principles of them, it's preparedness. That's the key. And you war game it. So you actually war game it beforehand in terms of what do we do? What if our staff get flooded? Where do we go? Who do we call on? How do we use local volunteers, you know, different agencies?
Put this woman in charge.
You know, how do we be on deck?
Put you in charge. Put you in charge. See, as I'm speaking to you now, how does anything they are doing help the businessman get back on his feet, the farmer restock his farm? I'm really concerned about the trauma done to children going back to school. If you were in charge now, what is the most urgent need?
Well, there's quite a few of them, and you can do a few things at once. I would make sure some people had a bit of warmth. I would make sure that businesses in the CBD and industrial area, that the commercial landlords got some support, because the businesses can't stand up, the people who run them, without that support. We've got buildings that are gutted. I would make sure that they're built flood resistant. You know, they've done that in the Brisbane Valley. They've been working on a program of people aren't moving, but they're making it flood resistant. I just left them at the university, the two guys who work on it, you know, have a program. So those sort of things. And I would say to people, you can have flexibility about pods and homes and villages, but the thing that's missing, Alan, is a sense of urgency up here. When I talk with people who are charged with doing things, there's no sense of urgency. My community has that. I have that. Work out a few things that you can do and do them well. So we don't have an economy.
No. I've talked for years about a national disaster fund, that every year, federal budget time, it amounts, say, $100 million each year, and that wouldn't be missed in Commonwealth revenues of over $500 billion. Invest it. It's available for immediate release in emergencies such as yours. So how are people managing? We're going to run out of time here, but how are people managing right now? I mean, people listening to you now can't believe what you're telling them. How can we help?
Okay. By talking about it like we do, that helps through the media. You've got a voice, I've got a voice, we use it. I've said to the Premier, talk to the Commonwealth, we need a package now. We need a package about Build Back Home Better. The state went alone, $20,000. The feds kicked in 10. I said it needs to be 50, like Queensland.